Today on Better in Our Backyard, I'm joined by the mayor of Clearbrook, Minnesota, Dylan Goudge, and state representative for District 2A, Matt Grossell, to discuss Governor Walz's decision last week to file yet another appeal with the Minnesota Public Utilities Commission regarding some pretty key permits for Enbridge's Line 3 replacement project. Dylan and Matt, I appreciate you two being here as leaders from the area. And Dylan, I'll start with you. Why does this decision by the governor negatively impact small town communities like Clearbrook in northern Minnesota?
To understand the city of Clearbrook employees, there's a lot of construction industry around here with a few of the main contractors that do a lot of work for Sharps. I'm talking like Sharp, or for Enbridge, like Sharps is one of them. Gustafson and Goudge is one of them. You have Minnesota Limited out of Big Lake, UPI out of Duluth. You have Michaels out of the cities also. All these companies do a lot of work up in here, and when those employees aren't around here, they have to travel elsewhere and find the work. So you have a lot of these companies that have employees that are out in Illinois working on the pipelines, Nebraska, Montana, North and South Dakota, all over the place, Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan, but there really isn't a whole heck of a lot of construction going on in the state of Minnesota right now, at least up in northern Minnesota, up around Clearbrook. So if Line 3 were to go through, you'd have all these families back here, all these employees back here working, all the way from the North Dakota line all the way to Duluth, Superior. And right now there isn't a lot of construction. All my employees that work for Gustafson and Goudge aren't even around the state of Minnesota right now. And a lot of those guys are employed locally, that are from the local area, meaning Boston, Clearbrook, Gondik, Bagley, Bemidji, numerous towns around here. And these guys have to pack up and go work elsewhere. So ultimately for the city of Clearbrook, it affects us big time because these guys are working elsewhere, spending their money elsewhere and not within the local community.
Yeah, I agree. And I think about the mandated shutdowns that are currently going on. I felt that this project would be the perfect shot in the arm too for small businesses in the region. It's just extremely frustrating. Matt, did you want to touch on that at all or anything?
Oh yeah, I'd be glad to touch on that. The governor said from the start when he brought his tour through Bemidji, one Minnesota tour, and he's really shown that it's not one Minnesota. That's not what he's looking for. He said that these well-studied and well-vetted economic boost projects would be getting moving. He would get these projects going, get this money, this private investment into the state of Minnesota, and he's gone back on that. When I met him at a union, trades union, carpenters union training center, and I asked him, "Are we going to get Line 3 moving?" He told me, and he told the trades unions, "Yes, we're going to get Line 3 moving, just as fast as possible." Again, he's gone back on his word. And now with the abuse of the courts and the process system and making sure that Enbridge has jumped through all the hoops to allow an arm of the executive branch to sue another arm of the executive branch, what does that tell me? That tells me that our governor is talking on both sides of his mouth. He says he supports it, and yet he doesn't. We're sitting in an area where the unemployment rate is above 20%. I think it was right around 23% unemployment rate. This area needs this private investment, which will bring millions of dollars into this area alone, into the stores, into the hardware stores, the grocery stores, the restaurants, the hotels. Those just to name a few of the places. This private investment that Enbridge is wanting to put into our economy, a $2.6 billion private investment in this time when we are suffering so badly in the economy, would be an immediate boost for our area, right all the way across the state. So, to have the governor turn his back on the trades, the very people that he claims to support and, who have tried to help support him as well, as a slap in the face as far as I'm concerned to our laborers, to our 49ers, and to our electricians, all of the trades unions. It's a slap in the face to our working men and women in Minnesota and across the Line 3 area. It's not a matter of should the line be replaced, it has to be replaced.
Absolutely. And then a couple months ago too, there was that letter I read. It was signed by 42 mayors. I believe, Dylan, you were one of them.
Yeah,
you signed a letter. It was a beautiful letter. You sent it out to the governor. Have you heard anything back from him?
Me personally, I haven't heard a thing back. The city has not heard a thing back. I just don't think that it's something that he wants to discuss with us up here, And I'm hoping that he does reach out and gets all 42 of us on a conference call one day and actually tells us the truth. Like, what is he thinking? Is this going to happen? Is it not? It's been 5.5 years in the making. There's a lot of people that have been put on hold. A lot of businesses put on hold. A lot of companies put on hold, waiting for this thing to start.
When's the last time do you think the governor has been up in northern Minnesota, specifically northwestern Minnesota?
I don't know when the last time it was up here.
I think Tim Pawlenty was in Walker probably 14 years ago, and I think he's the last governor I know to actually be anywhere close to Clearbrook.
Really?
And that was Walker. Yeah. I'm not saying that
close to Clearbrook. I mean, that's still a 2-hour drive.
Yeah, it's about an hour and a half, 2 hours. We pretty much get forgotten up here, and that. I mean, this isn't something that's ever talked about unless it's in the news about the pipeline, the oil, and because Clearbrook is always a central hub of the terminal that's out here. It's a big hub, and it's always mentioned. It's mentioned in national news. It's mentioned in state news. It's always Enbridge Line 3 or whatever line it may be that needs to get fixed or whatever happens. Clearbrook is always mentioned in there. The existing pipeline in Line 3 actually runs about 350 yards behind the house. It's out in a farmer's field. I live in town, but it literally runs about probably 300 yards behind my house. And I would personally like to see Line 3 get replaced because we need the new infrastructure, you need new pipe, it's not just about the economic boom, It is I want to make sure that this is noted in there, that it is a safer means of transport with technology from 2020 versus something from 1960. It's a proven fact, everything gets better. Everything technology comes along. I mean, look at these went from flip phones to now you can do anything on the iPhone. The technology just over the span of those years is substantial, and it is better nowadays, and it does need to get replaced for safety standards. I'm not saying that it's going to leak, but and if it does, they're going to take care of it. They do a good job protecting the environment. They do a good job protecting local communities, and they pretty much make it better than what it was before it even happened. So from Enbridge's standpoint, they are good stewards of the community. They do a lot for the local communities, not just, financial benefits to our community alone. I'm talking the environment, stuff that is something for them to be proud of, and they do a good job of it.